Welcome to the show. Football is off this week, but we are not off on Inside EKU Sports. Going to talk a lot of cross country. Let's begin with the women. And Laura Taborda, who is a redshirt freshman from Portugal, the team went up to South Bend, Indiana, ran in the Notre Dame Invitational, and you guys finished 7th out of 25 teams in what was the Gold Division. There's a lot of tough teams in that race, and you placed well yourself. Tell me about how you think the team did and how you did.
Yeah, I think it was a good race. We are still starting our season. It was just the second race we did all together as a team. And I think we have a lot of freshmen, a lot of young people, and we are growing as a team. This was a good race for us. And for me as an individual, I feel like I'm getting started now, and it was a good start.
The race, the cross country, is an endurance sport, and it's a good mixture for you because your main sport, once we get into track and field, is the steeplechase, and that is a grueling endurance race, right? So how does cross country help you for the steeplechase?
Yeah, it's true. Cross country season is always a season where we train more and add some more mileage and get stronger for the outdoor season and indoor. So yeah, I think it's a good complement.
How did you come to be a runner? I mean, there's soccer as a big sport in Portugal. How did it become that this was your athletic endeavor that you wanted to focus on?
I started just running in school and in little competitions, but I was not 100% on the sport. Then I found a good coach, and he started coaching me. I started doing steeplechase too, and I started getting some good results, and it was mainly by that I pursue the running.
I looked at the cross-country roster for women. There are 18 women on the roster, and it's 7 different countries. And I think college is one of those things where it's more than just the athletic competition or the books and the academics, but it's about growing up and just having that multicultural aspect. That's got to be fun, isn't it?
Yeah, our team is we have a lot of foreign people, so it's real a mix of cultures. We can share with each other, and it's been an amazing experience for me so far. And I'm really enjoying this experience. In Europe, we don't have such a big we don't give so much importance to running how we give here. So I think this is
How is the transition? It's tough enough to leave home and go to college, but now you're around the world away. I mean, it's a 7-8 hour flight just to get to New York City and then get on to here. How have you adjusted?
My adjustment has been really good because, I mean, when we change for something better, I think it's easier to adapt than when we change to something worse. So the facilities here in EKU are just great. So, and the coach and the team. So I'm adapting really well. You're
taking your general studies now, but you want to be a graphic design major. What do you want to do with that major?
I really like to draw. I like to work on computers too. So I was already doing design in Portugal. I studied 1 year in design, but general. So now I'm gonna specialize more in graphic, and I don't know, maybe work in magazines or...
Sounds like a great goal. Laura, great to meet you. Good luck to you and the rest of the cross-country team. Laura Taborda, and member of the cross-country team, looking to make those NCAA regionals in November, just like the men's team are. A couple of segments from now, we'll talk to a runner with the men's team. But up next, we talk football with Barkelder.
At Eastern Kentucky University, we recognize greatness starts in the classroom, but it doesn't end there. You have to get hands-on, get real-world experience, and discover who you are meant to be. Be a crime fighter. Be a visionary. Be a Colonel. See what you can be. Visit go.eku.edu/Colonel.
Every day is a concept that few people can commit to. Every day requires a level of dedication that forces you to test your limits.
Every day I'll give back to the community because I draw strength from their support. Every day the sounds of your cheers will echo through my mind. Knowing that you have my back means I can always look forward.
Every day I'll be too tired to sweat and my bones will ache. Every day will provide me with the slight edge that I need to succeed. Champions are built every day.
Football halfway through its 12-game schedule, and it's an off week for the Colonels. Mark Elder joins us now, and you had said after the loss to Tennessee Martin 38-28 that it would be self-scout, self-evaluation time before you really knuckled down on Murray State. What are you learning from that loss where you had a couple of chances and a couple of big plays hurt you?
Yeah, so we spent Sunday looking at the most recent game, obviously, and they ran the ball very effectively and did a great job of packing the box and keeping us from running the football well. And we saw that and made the calls different to throw the ball more and did that well, just not well enough. Didn't capitalize on a couple missed opportunities there in the throw game, and then had a couple sacks and a couple negative yardage plays that we needed to avoid. But really, I think that game was a very evenly matched team. Got a lot of respect for Tennessee Martin. That came down to a couple big plays, and they made a couple big plays running the football, and then the big punt return, and then obviously the fumble that they returned for a touchdown. A couple big plays that went for them, and we didn't create enough of them, and that was really the difference.
Is it a situation now where the passing game has to get better to support the running game, or do you feel like we just didn't get enough holes open for the running backs in that last game?
Well, it definitely felt like they were packing the box and trying to stop the run. So we went to the pass more, and until we got into down by 2 scores late when it was very, very obvious throwing the football, I thought we did a lot of good things, and we threw for over 300 yards. The one interception on the very last play, we're at that point where you're having to throw the football, and so you're pressing a little bit. But up until that point, I thought that we threw the ball fairly effectively. We still had a couple either that we were on point with the throw, but we didn't catch it, or we were just a little bit off and we had someone open. But thought that we did a fairly good job of throwing the football with over 300 yards passing. That was a good, solid day. Would like to capitalize a little bit more, but we've got to be able to do that. If somebody's going to put a lot of people in the box, we got to be able to throw the football, and I thought that we did a decent job of that.
Things are going to change before you play again because this is an off week, but 3 teams out of the 9 undefeated with a win or 2, and then there's 4 teams, including EKU at 1-1. So no reason to jump off any ledges right now. I mean, this is still a wide open OVC race.
Yes, obviously disappointed with the loss, but it is a completely wide open race. And, Tennessee Martin's 2-0, and so they're the only team that really keeps us from controlling our own destiny in this situation. So we've got we've got 6 more games to play, and they're all conference games. So we've got to just go out and play 1 week at a time and win each week. And I think that in the end, if we can do that and stay focused, that the end product's going to be something that we're going to be excited about.
When do you really start locking down on just Murray State prep, and how, because you have extra time, how does this change your whole process of how you approach the next game a week from Saturday?
Sure. So we will get into Murray a little bit early. We're going to spend how a bye week typically works is you spend that Sunday still reviewing just the one game. Then early in the bye week, you're going to really examine what you've done through the culmination of the season at that point in time, what you've done well, what you haven't done well, what do we need to feature more, what do we need to do less, what tweaks do we need to have schematically, personnel-wise, all those things. So, and then later on in the week, start getting into your preparation for Murray. Now, we're still going to get a game of theirs coming up on Sunday, so it won't be a final prep, but you got to figure that they're not going to change a great deal from 1 week to the next when you're midway through the season. They might make a couple adjustments, but we're going to be able to get a little bit ahead on them and have some preliminary first and second down calls ready and some third and red zone stuff ready as well.
hopefully everybody gets at least a day off this week, right?
We will. We'll take a day off because that's the other part. Our players will have a couple days off, but the other part of that is coming back and having a fresh feel, both from a physical standpoint from our players, but equally as important for both the players and the coaches is a mentally fresh, excited about the stretch run that we're about to have.
Okay, thanks, Mark. Appreciate it. Colonels back in action again a week from Saturday against Murray State. Up next, we go back to cross country, meet Remi Schyns of the men's team here on Inside EKU Sports.
The demand for food, energy, and commodities is growing. Be part of the solution with an agriculture degree from EKU.
Opportunities within the ag department are building our next generation of agriculturalists.
An ag degree can prepare you for careers in teaching, growing, engineering, veterinary medicine, and more. At EKU, you will get hands-on.
Eastern has some awesome agriculture facilities. They have the greenhouses and they have the farm, and they let their students go out and experience all that stuff.
And you'll be part of a campus community that feels like family.
Eastern has been my home away from home. It has given me so many opportunities, not only in my education, but also in the workplace.
Future-proof your career at EKU.
Time now to talk cross country again. We meet Remi Schyns, who is a runner with the men's team. Good performance by the Colonels at Notre Dame out of a field of 22 teams, and these are the top in the country. The Colonels finished 9th. You were one of 3 Colonel runners in the top 50. To run with so many good runners in that collegiate meet, what did you learn from it?
Well, it was one of my biggest races in the US yet, so it was pretty impressive to see all these people run so fast. And hopefully I had a good day, so I could stay with them, most of them at least. And so yeah, I really did. I think that one of the best results I have done in the US yet.
Your main focus in track and field season is the steeplechase, and we at EKU known for great steeplechase runners. So what does cross country do in its endurance to get you ready for the steeplechase part of the season, where you got to the NCAA regionals last year?
Mm-hmm. So basically cross country helps for the build-up of the aerobic base that you need. It's like the endurance, the stamina that everyone needs, and especially in the distances of 3K and over. So training for the cross country is training for longer distances, and that training is going to help you a lot for whenever track season hits, for the shorter distances, including the 3K steeplechase. So it's really a combination of the two that gets you at your best.
You come from Liège, Belgium, and on Sunday I had a chance, and I know you did too, to watch the World Track and Field Championships in Doha, Qatar, and Soufiane Bouchiki ran the 10K, finished 14th, and there's a connection. He's why you're here, right? Tell us about that.
That's right. I met him at a training camp back in Belgium with the Belgian Federation, and I got to know him, and by talking to him, he told to me about him being a EKU alumni, and by that I told him that I was planning on maybe go to the US to study and run at the same time, and that way he just told me that if I wanted to go to EKU, he could probably get me in contact with the coaches, and that's how the journey started.
Good decision.
Yeah, I don't regret it.
International business major. I know you can keep track and field in your life beyond college, but what do you want to do as far as a career in addition to running?
I'm not sure yet exactly. Hopefully business is a very broad field where I can still reorient myself and choose what I want to do in the future. So I don't know exactly what I want to do, but I know I like the environment and the business field. So.
Eastern Kentucky often gets mentioned in the top 25 of the nation in running. You've got to get to the Southeast region and then hopefully qualify for the Nationals. Do you feel like this team is, and I know it's early in the season, but that's what you're pointing to, right?
Definitely, yeah. That's the big goal. With this team, we're trying to build up really for regionals and hopefully nationals. So a lot of teams try to get really in shape really quick, to get some good results in those early meets. But with this team, we've been able to show some pretty good results, even if we're more focusing on the late part of the season to have the best shot at making nationals. So it's really good. I think the team is looking very strong, and we have a big pack that can train together and race together, and hopefully that will get us through to nationals.
Where you grew up in Belgium, French part of the country as far as speaking?
Yep, that's right.
So French, English, what other languages you speak?
I speak Dutch, and I'm trying to learn Spanish, but that's in the process. I'm not there yet.
You're 3 ahead of me already, though. It's great to meet you. Good luck to you and the rest of the team the rest of the season.
Thank you.
All right, talking cross country here for the second time in this show with Remi Schyns. Up next, we turn inside to volleyball. Johnna Fouch is with us, the head coach of the Colonels.
We are more than just athletes. We inspire scholars. We inspire leaders. We inspire champions. We inspire family. This is the Ohio Valley Conference.
Time now to talk EKU volleyball. After 3 on the road, 1 at home, and then back on the road for 2 more. Johnna Fouch is with us. Johnna, you guys have been on the road a lot, but right in the thick of the OVC, trying to find a tournament bid. Where do you like what your team's doing, and where do you need to improve?
That was our second week of conference play, and we opened up at home, so that was a good. After toughing a bad loss against Tennessee State, we came back and beat Belmont. And then, going on the road, it's always tough in conference because that's what makes good teams great, is being able to win on the road. And so, we lost both of our matches. But right now, it's just trying to get our team to kind of see where we lie. And I think right now we're kind of in the middle of the pack, and we're just trying to, secure some more wins. But winning on the road is tough for a team, and especially with us having a lot of new people on the court, a lot of freshmen. They're kind of hitting that fatigue mark right now, and so we're trying to structure our practice in the sense where we can save some jumps, save some swings for people like Abby Knoll, who sees almost 100 in like a 2-game weekend, and that's tough for a freshman. And so we're just trying to stay with it and stay healthy.
Well, I guess it's good news that unlike the normal Friday-Saturday swing, because you played Moorhead on Wednesday, now you're back home. You don't have to double up on the weekend. But here comes Murray State, who's been one of the best in the OVC, and it's been at the top of the conference. There's 4 or 5 teams fighting for the championship as well. So a tough one against Murray State.
Oh yeah, right now this is gonna be a tough week for us. Moorhead's at the top of the conference right now, and then Murray as well. And so Murray's reigning OVC champs, and so. For them, it's nice for us that we'll have a little bit more rest and recovery time without playing back-to-back, so we'll just see them on that Saturday. And so hoping now that we're home, we'll be able to have that home court advantage and take it to them.
It's been impressive, I think, with Abby Knoll. You mentioned her, the freshman, and then Kaylin Johnson's playing well at the net. It seems to me, if I read you right and you look at the stats, that you're concerned about errors, attack errors, and errors of other types are getting you at times in matches.
It's tough, in some sets we're up by at least 4 or 5 points, and then for us, consistently all year, it's been struggled to finish, and it's with those errors. And right now we're kind of making errors at the wrong times, and so that kind of just bases off our win-loss record. And so you can see is if we're up and we're making a ton of errors, it affects our play. And so, like you said, right now we're trying to spread our offense, so we're not solely giving one person all these attempts. And right now, Reagan Alexander's doing a great job at kind of spreading that and getting Kaylin Johnson, our middle hitters, involved, so we can make less errors, because if one hitter like an Abby Knoll is getting so many sets, she'll probably have a higher error percentage just because she's going to get worn out.
You have taken over after Lori Duncan was here as the head coach, and last year the team only won 5 games. So A, you've already won more games than last year, and B, I sense that the foundation is building correctly. I mean, I know you want to win every match you play, but do you feel like, okay, we're headed in the right direction? Johnna, give me patience. You're like, be patient, right? I mean, am I reading that right?
No, 100%. Yeah, we have had 6 wins, and so that's already better. And I think for our seniors, it's given them a little bit more confidence because they're a part of that class. And now it's just kind of continue building that. I don't think 6 is enough. I want to win more, but yes, I'm being patient with it, and I can see the mentality is getting better.
Where do you think, wow, this is where we're headed? I mean, what do you see, the way you're playing? What do you feel good about that you think, here we go, we're going to be okay here as we just keep grinding away?
I think just the focus and the competitiveness that our team's bringing, and I think that's all I can see. Seniors stepping up. Kaylin Johnson's probably one of the most improved I've seen just from last fall to now, and I'm getting so much out of them, and I think that makes me happy as a coach, and I'm looking towards the future, and I can just see younger classmen stepping up, and that's just something that I'm excited for.
Okay, thanks. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
All right, Murray State is in town at Alumni Coliseum, 2 o'clock. Hope to see you out there. We'll also have the coverage on ESPN+. Don't forget that the soccer team is at home for 2 more matches. They'll play at 4 o'clock on Friday and then 1 o'clock on Sunday. Big weekend of women's athletics here at Eastern Kentucky University. The football team is off this week. You can always like and follow all EKU athletics by going to these social media pages. And we'll see you in 2 weeks back here on Inside EKU Sports. And as always, go Big E.